out to Vance Worley? Are you confident that you'll get him to come back?
I don't know where that's going to go, but Vance had a good year for the Orioles last year, and we made an offer to him. Yeah.
When you say rotation depth up there on the stage, is that a guy like Worley who could start, could be a long reliever, or are you looking for straight starters?
Well, we're just looking for some more pitching depth. When we traded Gallardo to Seattle and acquired Seth Smith, we sent a veteran pitcher, and I always like to have veteran pitchers to start the season, and more than what you need. We have some young pitchers that could develop into good major leaguers, but ideally we'd like to have some more veteran depth for our ball club starting the season. We got the two young guys, Gosman and Bundy. We like to see them continue to mature and stay healthy. And what they did the second half of the year was terrific. We're very encouraged by it. But beyond that, it's always good to have some veteran pitchers that can come in and help your club, because you'll have injuries during the season.
Dan, could you see that veteran pitcher potentially being a minor league signing just because of kind of the glut of pitchers that are out there right now?
Well, that's a possibility this time of year. We're at 40, and we took a player off the roster this week, and he was immediately claimed. So, it's kind of tight until you get into spring training and see how your team shapes up and see who you're going to add and who you can take off from your current list.
That being said, what you've done thus far, are you pleased that you've improved the team from where you left off in 2016 with the catcher, re-signing Trumbo, Seth?
Well, we're returning not the exact same cast, but a similar strengths on this ball club for 2017. We're returning the whole infield, terrific infield, and great on the left side, of course, with Hardy and Machado, and very good on the right side with Scope and Davis. I mean, all very capable players. They can hit, they have power, they can field their position. So we're really strong there. We got Jones returning in the outfield. Kim, we hope to get Rickard back, and we picked up Seth Smith to fill a hole in right, and he should be real additive against right-hand pitching in particular. I mean, he's a good RBI man. Excellent teammate. Trumbo, you heard recommend him yesterday, is a really good teammate. Our starting rotation, we hope, is a little bit stronger. We had really good starting pitching late in the year in September, and we're returning that rotation, and the strength of the club is still the bullpen with Britton, Brock, O'Day, Michael Givens, Donnie Hart. I mean, all these guys are top-rate, top-quality pitchers. So it's a similar team to what we fielded last year. We're excited that Trumbo decided to come back. I mean, anytime that you can return the home run king and the slugger like that and put his presence back in your lineup, that's a big plus. But he was a free agent, and we were able to strike a deal with him. So that gives us good depth to our lineup. I do like a couple of young players that I think are going to come up and have good years with the club. Trey Mancini, a really good hitter, over 300 over his career, came up and made a good contribution last year. And Chance Sisco, here's a left-handed hitter, another over 300 in his career hitter, who continues to work on his catching skills day in and day out. So I like what they can potentially bring to the ball club going into spring training. Here's two top-quality hitters coming up to the big league club through our minors we can take a look at, and they could be with us for a long time.
Dan, are you prepared to go to arbitration with Brock Gosman or Joseph, or is there any chance that that the club will?
Well, the club took the stance that if we filed, there's a trial. We filed a trial this year, and we were able to resolve, I think, 6 of the 9 cases, and it looks like we're going to have to go to arbitration on a couple of them. But we were prepared. We're not afraid of the process. The Orioles have done well in arbitration. That's not our first choice. We tried to get a deal with all the players, but we weren't successful in this case. And, to the extent that we're at this stage of the season, I expect that we'll go to trial.
Are you comfortable with your outfield defense? I know you talked about that at the end of the season.
Well, I think the outfield defense is an area where the club can improve, and I think we can improve with adding additional foot speed and youth to the outfield, and that's why we drafted Tavares from the Red Sox, got excellent speed, and then also Santander from the Indians. I mean, here's a kid that's got great power from both sides of the plate, very rare skill, He's just 22 years old. So we're going to take a look at them. Beyond that, I think that there's some things that we could do to make our outfield defense better. There's ways that you can measure that defense more precisely now. There's some tools out there, and I think that's one area where the club could really improve. The 2017 club could look to improve over 2016.
You mentioned all offseason that the bullpen was a strength and you wanted to keep it that way. Was there ever a point where you got close to moving one of those bullpen pieces to improve elsewhere, or was that always kind of the fundamental thought you had?
Well, that's the strength of the club, and we like it to be the strength of the club. And you know, we were able to win a lot of games when we have a lead or a tie, you know, after the 5th inning. So that's a real difference maker for us. We did explore some interest from other clubs in some of those relievers, and that's something that we can, you know, have an open mind about. But that's a real strength for the ball club, and I'm happy that we have that strength intact going into the season.